Okay, so now we're gonna take our attention away from the ceiling panels and the walls, and what I've done is I pulled the tape off our trim detail, the beams, and taped them off. And then I went back in with the OC6 Venetian plaster by Modern Masters we used on these wall panels and just used it kind of like a caulking, just kind of rubbed it into these edges to seal that tape down. So now we can paint this safely without it bleeding onto our wall panel or ceiling panel. So what we're gonna do is base all the beams and woodwork in 2 coats of HC73 Regal Matte by Ben Moore. And so you just want to brush it in and get it on all this detail. And again, 2 coats. And then once we get that done, we can move on to the next step. Okay, so now that I've got the 2 coats on my beams and all the trim, what I've done is I've used a Mona Lisa metal leaf adhesive size, and I've just taken a chip brush and just whisked it over, you know, this egg and dart detail. I didn't get real heavy with it, and I also went ahead and whisked it over this detail on the perimeter, and I let that set up for about an hour. So now I can take my leaf, and we're just using composite gold leaf here, and what I'll do is just start tacking it up and getting my leaf just on there. So, you know, of course the leaf's only going to stick where I put my adhesive size. So I'll just run through and just let it grab all those areas. And I'm being really careless here because we're going for, you know, a distressed leaf effect. All right. Okay. All right, just as you can see, I'm putting all my leaf on and leaving it totally loose, okay? I'm not gonna scrub it in yet because it end up all over the room and make a huge mess. So what I do is I just take a shop vac, here's the nozzle, and I'll just hit this on and just start brushing this off, and it'll suck up right in the shop vac, and it's kind of like a no mess way to get this done, all right? So now I scrub my leaf off, and you can see how obviously I just whisked the adhesive on, because you can see it just barely grabbed and it got this really kind of cool distressed leaf look. And now go ahead and do this to the perimeter, and then we're going to put two coats of Mona Lisa leaf sealant over this leaf, and then we'll get on to doing the overstain. Okay, for the next step on the trim, you can see I've already started overstaining some of it, and all I'm doing is taking golden slow drying fluid acrylic by Proceed. This is raw umber, and I'm taking it straight out of the bottle and just putting it in a container with a chip brush, and I'll just go ahead and brush it on full coverage. Really get it worked into that detail so I don't have any like pure gold stuff sticking out. So I just brush it on, take my shop towel, and just in a linear motion, just drag it back off and let it sink into those cracks and crevices. Then I'll take like a cleaner chip brush and just kind of drag through. And that starts to really kind of knock it back and create this kind of distressed look that we're going for. Okay, for the final step on the trim, what we're going to do is take some black faux cream color straight out of the bottle on a chip brush and just kind of dirty brush it in. We're just going to highlight the edges and stuff to add a little more contrast, because we're a little ways up, so we want people down low to be able to see this. So I'm just going to kind of stay off the gold and just whisk over that brown detail and wipe that back and start to just kind of add just like one last piece of interest to it. Okay, for the next step in the process, we're going to start our Modello installation. And you know, each one of these inset panels is just like a large triangular shape. And so this is one panel. So the Modello actually came in 3 sections. So this being the top, and then we'll just have to line up the 2 sections underneath that. So once again, we're going to go up there and do kind of a mock-up just to make sure it fits and we can position it in right. And then we need to find the dead center of this first panel and find dead center of the top of the inset panel so that we can line that up and make sure we put it nice and straight. So we'll get up there and start measuring that out first.